Let's take a look at the 6'7", second-year forward out of the University of Michigan for the Detroit Pistons, Isaiah Livers. We're going to start with the shooting, but even before I highlight that, I want to look at something I love about Isaiah Livers, and that's his communication. Watch here offensively in transition. He's pointing to Jalen Duren, a rookie coming into the league, where to go. He's telling Saben Lee to push to the corner and create good spacing, and I just love that he's such a good communicator, but here you see him trail in transition and knock down that three. A young man who shot 27 to 64, 42% with the Pistons last season in his rookie season. And then if you go back to Michigan on almost 400 attempts, he shot 41% from three. What I'm really interested in is, can he start making other shots, ones like that off the dribble in transition? Here he finds a post up he likes and shoots the fadeaway over his right shoulder and knocks it down. I don't know that they're going to run a lot of ISOs for Isaiah Livers, but if he can do things like that, that just adds a little bit to his offensive game and value. And then I love this, on the catch and drive, goes to a little step back and knocks that down. That looks really pure right there in Summer League. I absolutely love the value he can bring as a floor spacer, but if he can do a little bit more in terms of off the dribble, off the move shooting, that just adds a whole nother element to his game, because one thing he isn't going to do a lot is create with the ball in his hands. He wasn't a pick and roll handler in his rookie season, really wasn't going back to his time at Michigan. Even when he wasn't very efficient. So even here, he gets a switch against a big, but goes ahead and settles for the step back jumper. So he's not going to be a guy that's creating a ton in that way. We'll see it here with Jalen Duren. Doesn't really attack the ball screen. Now, what he does well is he's just going to be a connector, someone that makes the right pass, keeps the offense flowing. So there's nothing wrong with this as he tosses it into Jalen Duren against the guard, and Duren actually makes this baseline pass to Stu, who drove in, got fouled into the free throw line. So it's not necessarily a negative. He's not going to do anything wrong. He just isn't a guy that's going to create, which is okay. He just does this really well. So a great whip pass from one side of the floor to the other, and then Isaiah Livers immediately catches. He's not going to be a ball stopper, makes the one more pass to Jaden Ivey for the bucket. So that's kind of what he brings on the offensive end. But where I absolutely love Isaiah Livers is on the defensive end, and first we're going to show multiple efforts. So here in transition, recognizes the play on the weak side, and I love that he closes out. He tries to get that hand to take away the one more pass. Isn't successful, so he makes another effort on the pass to close out and stay in front of the offensive player. And then once again, Saben Lee gets beat, so he steps over and helps on the drive there. So we saw 2-3 efforts from Isaiah Livers on that one possession. And then we're going to see it again here. A DHO, he sees it coming. His awareness is so good, steps up to take on the ball handler, is able to stay in front, moving his feet, and then just watch his activity off the ball here. As his eyes are always moving, his head's always on a swivel, seeing what's going on. Here comes another DHO. He's going to stay over the top of it, keep his man from catching the ball. So I just really love his activity. And then look here, the communication, I talked about it at the beginning of the breakdown. Look at his communication with Saben Lee. I don't know exactly what he's saying, but he's clapping his hands, he's talking to him. Maybe he sees his ball screen coming and he's telling him that the scram switch is coming, which we see right here. So he is very, very good at this. You want to get the smaller guy off of the big and get somebody with a little bit more size. Isaiah Livers at 6'7". So we're going to scram switch this, but Livers doesn't just scram switch and stay behind. He gets in good position. You see him give that extra effort to get in good position in terms of where the ball and now his man is at. And we're going to see it again with Killian Hayes. Scram switch, going to take him off of the big in the paint. Isaiah Livers going to come over. Again, doesn't just settle being behind. He's going to come over the top and actually on this one forces a turnover with the steal, starting transition the other way. And then again, doing the little things. He's going to make the rotation here as Luka Garza rolls to the rim, and he's going to get a box out. He doesn't get the rebound. He doesn't get a stat on this one, but it's a huge play to keep Garza off the boards, and it ends up being an uncontested layup for Braxton Key. Looking just on the ball, I really like what he can do. At the very least, he's going to give, again, multiple efforts. So he stays in front here, and I like his ability to plant his foot and change direction. So he plants here, able to get back to the offensive player, and this next clip is going to highlight it even more. So he flips his hips right here. He puts that foot in the ground and is able to change his direction, so as the offensive player goes to the fadeaway, he's able to contest. I'm not saying Isaiah Livers is going to be a lockdown defender, but what I am saying is he's going to give multiple efforts and he's at least going to make the offensive player work. Now, we've talked about the size a little bit, so I do wonder about his ability to be switchable or even play exclusively at the 4 at times. So you see him guarding you in the post. Again, he's going to give multiple efforts and work hard. He holds up okay, but at 6'7", bigger guys are going to be able to just score over him. A ball screen action here, going to get a switch. You see him working. Eventually, gives up position. He's going to get back and fight and be aggressive, but again, at 6'7", ends up giving up the shot. And then I just wanted to finish off the breakdown with this one highlight of him chasing down a player in transition, running with him, getting the block there. And again, I just love the effort, the intensity, the communication that Isaiah Livers plays with on the defensive end of the floor.